To say this didn't go as planned is an understatement. So I recorded this and I didn't really know that I should turn down my volume in game. So it's equal volume and you can barely hear what I'm saying. But hi, my name's Adara and today we're going to be trying a build challenge. I saw Griffy, I think her name is. I'm going to put a picture of her channel and her video on the screen. I saw her making a 10-minute build challenge and I don't know how she did it, but it looked really fun, so I'm gonna try that as well. One thing though is I'm not built like her. There's no way I can do that in 10 minutes, so I'm trying to do it in 20 minutes. And I know I started out with having a hope that I can then do interior, like exterior decorating with my leftover time. There was none. I'm gonna be trying to build this house. I'm gonna put some inspiration up, and there's nothing specific about it. I just liked having a specific plan. I'm gonna be putting the little timer on the screen as well down in the corner, so you can also see how far I am. And then I'm gonna try to start. I don't really remember what I was saying, but I'm gonna start it now. And I know that I I made some suspicious choices, let's be honest. So for some reason I really thought I had this wool in hand. I truly thought I was thriving. I was like, why am I stressing? You know, let's pick all these colors. Let's make sure the walls are exact. You see me not even building on the grid because I was like 20 minutes, so much time. And it is. If I wasn't moving like a grandma, what is this pace? But I leisure, you know. But I think that might be also why it's fun to do stuff like this, because not because you have to hurry, but it's also interesting to see your playstyle, and mine is clearly, oh yeah, we could maybe put this here, and oh, do we want that color? What about flooring? Do we what am I even doing here? I'm just looking. Oh no, actually, no, I remember. I had cat problems. So this entire damn video, it was filmed yesterday at around 18, and my cats eat at 19:30 every day. And yet, every day at around 17:30, they start screaming. Like, maybe today is the day that I forgot that they need food. Like, they are not 2 hours early. So, if you see any accidental stoppages, it is, cats. Cat screaming, cat laying on my keyboard, cat jumping on my keyboard, laying on my mouse hand. It continues like that. Just so that's explained at least, I just started making this square. That's why I liked having the inspiration pictures as well, just so I knew what I was doing, so I didn't have to spend time with that. Why does this feel like it's slowed down? Did I really take that long to place a pillar? Girly Pop, where was my priorities? This because these were not it. Well, depending on who you ask at least. But this is feeling a little silly. But I was hustling, as you can clearly see somewhere. I think I ended up making it like a gray stone and like a green paneling, and I remember it being such a vibe though. I am happy with how it turned out in the end, because it could have gone a lot worse, but I also had hoped to have a lot more time for decorating and like detail work, which did not end up happening. So you know, everything keeping in mind, I'm proud, but it could definitely have been better, and it wouldn't have taken a lot for it to be better either. At this point, since I made it yesterday, I don't really remember what I ended up doing. We're watching this together, guys. I was faffing about. More pillars, of course. Pillars and faffing. I think... Who am I even imagining living here? I think I could see it as like a 28-year-old Pilates woman. Like, her job is to wake up at 9, go teach a class, come home, have a lunch, which somehow consists of salmon and avocado, and then go have like 2 or 3 more classes and post a lot of Instagram pictures. I think that's kind of the vibe I'm going with here. It would just need to be a lot more, I don't know, detailed, whimsy, I almost want to say. But I know I ended up placing like a little yoga place out here in the front, which I love the aesthetic of, but I'm also just thinking of like the strategic of it, like the actual living with it. And it must be so weird if you were actually doing like Pilates or yoga on that busy street, like at least you're in the backyard. But I guess that is one of the things that Paralives doesn't have right now. And it's actually having like movable walls. So walls, who am I lying to right now? Like movable houses. So when you place down the house, that's it. That's all you get. Where it could be really nice if you could just scoot everything a little bit to whatever side that you misremembered, mismathed, like I do a lot. So yes, it would have been optimal to have it somewhere else. But why am I saying it like I had time to do that anyway? One thing I actually really liked about the floor plan as well is that I tried having this like little laundry room here. I think you also see another stutter from a cat accident. A cat accident. That didn't sound as well as I wanted it to. But I think like that little, I want to say 1x2, it kind of fits perfectly with having two laundry machines, a dryer and a tumbler. But the problem with it is that I placed an arch. I actually think I placed a door further in. I'm totally spoiling this for you. I placed an arch where I was like, this doesn't fit. Like, there's not space to access the laundry machines. But then I was kind of lying to myself and being like, well, let's just pretend it's closed, that you open from the top and put stuff in and then close again. Like, that would be better. I don't know what I was on. I was on not a lot of time. So that's why I did it like that. So it feels so slow to watch back. But I'm sure I was rushing or something. So you see that I put this little arch, and I love the idea of it, and I think it's really cool. But then again, why would I want a constantly open view of my laundry when I could have a door? Which is why I replaced it later. I remember, I think I make like a little... Oh, I'm doing the kitchen first? I think I'm doing the kitchen first. No? I'm shenanigans. Oh yeah, here you can see that's not opening. That's not opening for anybody. But you know, I remember being like, is this worth it to fix? Looking at it, spending the time it would have taken to fix it, looking at it. But you know, sure, I made a decision after all that time. And now I'm trying to faff around with the kitchen as well. And I remember feeling stressed about the time now, because imagine Griffey being 6.5 minutes in. She has 3.5 minutes left. How did she do that? I guess she was less silly than I was. She actually spent her time slightly wisely instead of trying 3 different fridges and all this extra space and playing around with the windows and everything. So maybe it's actually my bad and I should have planned this better. But I can clearly see that was not my intention. And like, I think I've honestly removed these windows 3 times. And I think there might be a 4th coming. And like all this time working with the drawer, like I could have just stretched it and then placed the stove in the middle. But it does look cuter the way I've done it. It was just not the thing that I was like, that I had time for. Yeah, I think this is another cat meeting where I have to put a cat on the floor. I don't really... Oh, what a fun bug actually with the little lamp there. I think I was trying to get a drawer out. Because I just... Honestly, that's been one of my favorite parts about Paralives. It's just the absolute, like... the choices. So when I'm making a kitchen now, I actually want a drawer. I actually want these things instead of it just being empty. Or just being like copy paste through the types. See, me touching these damn windows one more time. This was not the priority. I would have had 2 minutes left if I did the actual challenge. And I have half a kitchen. I'm even moving the drawers again. This is making me want to try again. I should try again. I'm gonna try again, but am I gonna try the 10 minutes? That seems crazy. But I guess... Yeah, see, here I'm like, which swatch do I want on my sink? Girl, just place the sink. Place the sink and move on. I think I'm gonna have to try the 10 minutes. I need to... I think because while the change to having so many options and swatches and possibilities within the swatches is a really good thing, I also think it is sometimes faffing about with things that doesn't really matter. And like here, I'm going through different tables, and the first one would have been fine. This one have been fine. playing around with the coloring for 20 minutes also made it fine. And here I'm even going into the advanced settings. And yes, it does make a difference. But sometimes realizing that the priority isn't the finesse and the detailing, but just the picture as a whole, I think does make a difference. Like learning where you can save time, even though it has nothing to do with time. But I guess it's just one of those options, I guess, to try to play within a game to see what the possibilities is, and maybe even to push yourself to get better. Because I think one of the things I also talked about in the video behind all the music was the fact that people who've been playing Sims for years, myself included, we've learned like the shortcuts and the like keybinds and everything. And I was about to say so quickly, but that's not even true. We just learned them over such long years that of course that's easier, of course that's faster, because we have so much more experience in it. But it also in some ways bring more joy, because a lot of the problems I'm having in Paralives as well is, oh, where was blank again? And then I either have to search for it. I'm like, ooh, where was the decor specifically for books? But if you want books, you have to then go under desks and then under books, because that is the only section where that's actually in. So it's just a lot of playing around and learning where stuff is. And then also like, which plants do I like and what size do I like them, and figuring out all those smaller details. Because right now when looking at that little side lamp, I don't really like it, but I hadn't used it before now either. So I think having these like quicker builds also gives an option to actually explore and experiencing parts of the game that you maybe don't touch. Like this little fruit bowl painting, I hadn't touched it before because I had imported so many of my own pictures from I'm a liar, from Pinterest, that I just would rather use those and not even giving the other things a chance, right? So actually having a different setting that I placed for myself that gives me the chance to play with a different aspect of the game, I guess, was actually something I enjoyed a lot, which is also why I think it could be cool to do a 10-minute timer. But I definitely think Griffey did the right thing and had a tiny shell instead of this huge thing. Well, it's not huge, it's just not a tiny home. It's a home. It's a starter 1-bedroom home, 2 bedrooms. And I think it adds a lot of interest to have to think about the game differently. Where am I even at actually? I went on a complete rant, and for that I am sorry. But honestly, I think it was an interesting conversation, I guess, that I then had with myself while you had the honor of listening. I'm cluttering everywhere. I feel like we have so many good clutter items, but because I have done so much building the last 3 days, like every other person who just got Paralives, I feel like some of them are also getting a bit, I don't want to call it old, because it is not old, it is so new, but it's also feeling a bit like, what now? Now every single one of the houses I've made has this specific sponge, but that is also just what time brings to a game, is this difference in toothbrush holders and soap. And I made a mod today. Never made a mod before, by the way. I had some difficulties, and it's because for some reason there's no hanging towel, and I actually feel like that's a shame, because it's such, I feel like that's on par with the toilet paper roll. Like you place it next to every sink you have in the entire house, and there's none. And I feel like that there was a missed chance, so I tried to make one, and I even uploaded it to the Steam workshop, also for the first time. So today was a lot of news. Oh yeah, this is the door I think I replaced over on the little laundry. Yep. I don't like, that's not gonna make it better, but I like the realism of actually closing it, because I'm not looking at that in real life. I don't want to look at my laundry, and especially if it was actually going. Imagine just hearing that rumbling about in the house. No thank you. But I think that this is also a really good showcase of the fact that I had so much time. If I have time to try different dressers and like finesse around in a little walk-in closet, I'm good. So I think I'm really gonna enjoy actually having the 10-minute timer at some point. Right, the mod. I made a mod where it was under the health items. There's an elderly, well not just for the elderly, but there's like a handle that supports you when getting up either in the bathroom or at the toilet. And there's a blanket that's like hanging off something, and if you combine those two, it kind of looks like a dish rag or a towel. So I made that and uploaded to the Steam Workshop, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. But I will say, do not try to color that thing, because I haven't figured that part out yet. So right now it's gorgeous if you don't touch the colors. To my 4 people listening to this video, don't touch the colors on that one mod that you probably don't have in your game. For your information, you know? Here I'm also just faffing about with different rugs and looking at different curtains, and I was not living the same life that Griffey was living in this challenge. Because where's the... Or I actually think you hear my cat meowing right there. Well, hello little cat. That's how hungry he was. He came through the video to you. But I do think this house is cute though. Like this isn't giving builder challenge or whatever you kind of want to call it. This is like low-key a cute house. I also just noticed that the windows on the wall that the TV is on is 2 different heights. That's another problem that is caused when you can do whatever you want. There's no one telling you that you have to do specific things. What am I doing here? Maybe it was cat problems again. Why do I feel like that kitchen is very empty? Because it is, I guess, is the answer. But I think it's because in all my other kitchens, I have put a lot of clutter, so just this one looking a little empty feels weird. I also think I stress place or casually place. I casually place some lamps, and then I think I go outside for a little bit of terraforming. Maybe. I'm really excited for when Paralives makes a little bit of a light update. Because right now the lighting is really harsh. I don't think I showed it in this video, thank God. But I think I put light everywhere where light is needed. Why am I live mode? I was, apparently. But yeah, I think everything is lit up that needs to be lit up. But this also just shows I had too much time. I don't know what I'm doing. And I have 3 minutes left. Oh, I did go into dark. See, everything's nice and lit up. But like a little pillow on that, like couch, and a little plant literally anywhere, really would have been this nice. And see, here's what I'm talking about with the knowing where things are. It suddenly takes a lot of time out of your playing, where you're just looking for things. And while that really doesn't matter, it makes the experience feel more smooth when playing, and takes some focus away from things that doesn't matter. But yeah, I was chilling when I was creating this, I can see. Did I? Oh my god, I actually think I'm gonna place a desk. Am I lying to myself? I think I'm placing a desk in a second across from that. That's really what the house needed, and then it's just a normal starter house. But it just seems really silly that I'm going this into detail with what color it is when I have less than 2 minutes left on the timer. I don't know who she is, but she was living a carefree life. I'm also kind of surprised that I picked that dark of like a bedding, because I don't feel like it fits the house at all. Now I might change my mind on who this is for. Maybe this is honestly just like, what are those called? Like a bed and breakfast that's not a bed and breakfast. The place where you like rent for a few days to live. Because it feels very... It doesn't really have a lot of personality, is that mean to say? Well, no, I built it, I guess. But it just feels like nothing's really here. Like, it's even a laptop. Someone just came in, lived there for 3 days, put their laptop out. And then there's like these like basic items that anyone could use. So this feels slightly like a weekend stay at somewhere. I have a minute left. How did I... Am I lying to myself when I said I did exterior decorating? Because I feel like I did exterior decorating. But I don't know in what world I have time for exterior decorating in less than a minute. Is that the extent of my exterior decorating? That's kind of funny. Yeah, I think I went, oh, whoever lives here likes exercise. And then I called it quits. What am I gonna do in 30 seconds? That's it? Nothing? Do I do a path? A plant? I do some plants, okay. Wonderful exterior work. I guess that is a bush. Sure. Do I get a path too? I mean, I think I was more productive the last 30 seconds of this video than I was in the rest. Because she was a little too relaxed for my liking. Yep, done. Like, is it cute? Yes, but I also feel like it's not the point of the building challenge to be relaxed and have that many choices when building. So I think I need one that's a little more stressed. So I'll make a new one. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video as well.